Hello and welcome.
Yeah, chapters 38 through something.
Did we check?
I'm pretty sure it was 37. Hold on. We had read through 37. I just had a student send me a TikTok. That's interesting. Hey girl, if you're listening, I just got your TikTok that you texted to me. It's fine.
Well, we definitely did 37.
What was I doing? Bus route. The last one was 34 through 37. So we are starting on chapter 38 today.
Cool. I was going to say,
Stop
I don't remember
laughing at us, Nicole.
Anyways.
She's going to kick my ass when she hears this.
38
All right.
is a doozy. Specifically because...
I read this so long ago.
I know. Well, so we just got back from the summer court. We stole the book. We're back. Amren takes the book to her loft so that she can start studying it and devising it. And Favor's doing her thing around the apartment, all that kind of good stuff. So then she finds Reese in the garden rooftop thing. And we find that the summer court now knows that they stole the book. COVID.
It is going around my classroom right now.
Honestly. So then, yeah. So we open up to, they just got back from the summer court. We find that they have now declared them enemies of the night court because they stole from them. So they have blood rubies.
Of the summer court.
Yeah. What did I say?
I said the night court. The night court and the summer court are feuding.
Yes.
Now.
Because they stole the book.
Yes.
And Reese is upset. Yeah. Very upset.
I don't know what my thought process was when I wrote this because I read this part so long ago. Mm-hmm. But I wrote on page 362 to 363, I cleared my throat. I know you're there. Like, she says, I cleared my throat. Like, she's trying to get Reese's attention and let him know that she's there. And he's like, I know you're there. He said, without turning from the view of the Cedra and the red gold sea beyond. And I'm just like, of course he knows you're there. Like, you're mated.
You have two bonds.
Right. There are literally multiple things alerting him to the fact that you're there. Plus, he's Reese. Like,
he knows. He's well aware. Yeah, I put on 364. So we're talking about Tarquin and like starting the blood feud is what they call it. Actually, I don't even know if is it called a blood feud or is it just because
they just call it a blood diamond? I think
blood rubies. I think
or blood rubies. Yeah.
Okay, so a feud, whatever. Honestly, I want to know, so because the book is linked to Tarquin's power and just like the summer court in general, would he have, like, if it wasn't for the guards, if it wasn't for anything like that, would he have felt the power leave? Like, would he have felt it like be taken? Yeah. My thing is when they were taking it, I should have asked this last episode, but when they were taking it, Reese said, well, you set off every damn alarm in that place. And it's like, what were they? Like, what were the alarms?
Right. Like, huh?
Like, were they, I don't know, like, were they legitimate alarms? Like fire alarms? Or did they, did like a magic in them just be like, shit, our thing is gone. Like, like what?
I don't know.
We're not from this world, Reese. You need to explain.
So, hold on. Let me look at this. What is happening here?
A lot.
Okay. So, on page 363, I know you were just on 364, but I literally wrote tangent alert, and I like what I was talking about. So, they're talking about asking, like, Reese is like, I thought about asking Tarquin for the book, but I thought he might say no and then sell the information to the highest bidder. I thought he might say yes, but it still lined up with too many people knowing our plans. At the end of the day, I needed the why of our mission to remain secret for as long as possible. So, as I mentioned before, I'm on the DEI committee at my school for the next 7 days. Well, by the time you're listening to this, it'll be the next 2 days. But the why is something we talk about a lot. Like, you know what your goal is, but you can't get to that goal unless you know why you're going to get there. Like, nothing's actually going to happen. So I wrote the why is so important, and I love that SJM explores that with Reese. We talk about the why all the time at DEI. It's the first thing you need to decide when making a big decision.
Honestly, though, like,
and I love
how you want to get to it. Like, not how do you want to get to it, like, what do you want?
Right.
And then you can build up from that.
Exactly.
It's kind of like how J.K. Rowling, like, made her final books and then, like, worked her way backwards.
Right.
Like, this is how I want my story to go.
Exactly. And then also, like, poor Reese. Like, I just want to.
He wants like a friend.
Yeah, he has all these noble intentions, and he does everything he does for the betterment of everyone. But like, nobody knows that because he can't trust anyone. Understandably, like, but it just makes me sad for him.
Yeah, it's horrible. But yeah, so he's in a mood. He doesn't even want to play. Like, his flirtatious banter he always has to piss her off. Like, they're not even having that.
Yeah.
And it's so sad because it's like, Reese is defeated at this point. Like, he made an enemy for the greater good, and he, like, doesn't know how to reverse it and doesn't know if it'll ever be reversed.
Yeah.
So he's quite upset because that could have been
a really good ally for him.
Yeah, especially for the war that's coming.
Yeah. I love how good they are for each other also, because he's like...
That's why they're bonded.
Yeah, he's like, you've been told you're now public enemy number 1 of the Summer Court, and you're just fine with it. And she says, no, but I don't blame you. And then he, like, sighs. And, like, that's just... Yeah, anyway, then then she's like, make it up to him. You know, you wanted to be his friend like he wanted to be yours. Otherwise, you wouldn't be so upset. And he goes, I'm not upset. I'm pissed off. And she says, semantics. And I know that Brittany just chuckled when I said that because I say semantics all the time in arguments. I use that all the time because, like, you can say the same thing and you can say it a million different ways, but you're still saying the same fucking thing. Semantics. And then, moving on, 365. They're talking about... Reese is debating how to tell Amren about the blood rubies. And, like, I literally just wrote, because bitch be crazy.
Honestly, though, she's fucking insane. She'll be like, fresh blood.
Right. Because her answer would be to go to Adriata and wipe the city off the map. And that's when I wrote, because bitch be crazy. I put it in quotes and everything.
Right? I didn't actually comment on that. I commented on, like, their like, how sad it is that he's not wanting to banter with her. And, like, she's like, come on, play with me. Like, do this or do that. And she's actually using his tactic on him. And it's not... She's over here. Sorry, my dog's around.
Where'd she go? There she is. Hi.
And, yeah, she's, like, she's, like, using his tactic. No, that's Scarlet. They look alike, I get it, but Polly's probably in bed. She likes the bed. That's where she sits and lays. Scarlet likes to be in everybody's butt.
But then this is like, what, the 3rd time I've been here? Second. And I still can't tell you guys apart.
It's fine. Will was super amazed that I was able to tell them apart. Like, after, like, our second day, he was, you know which one's which? And I was like, it's not hard. But anyways,
back to the book. Hi, sweetie. She's licking me now.
We have, like, ADHD. She'll nudge you. She, like, uses her nose and, like, attacks. Like, fucking love me. So yeah, she's using his tactic against him, and he's just, like, he's not ready for it. And it's just like, that's smart. Use something that, you know, like, might work, depending on his mood. But
I'm not drunk, I'm drinking. Again, semantics.
He's working to get drunk. That's the thing.
I love it. But also, I was like, careful, Farrah, because, like, we do that sometimes too. So a lot of the times Brittany's way of calming me down is to try to make jokes about it. And usually I'm too mad and I can't, like, it doesn't work. But like, then I try to do it back and it doesn't work either. And it's just funny. It's funny that
my joke usually takes a wrong turn. It's not like it's like a terrible joke that nobody laughs at. It's just kind of one of those, like, oh, you're really pissed off.
Right.
And you're trying to make a joke. Okay, now I, like, see where you're at. Thanks, babe, for trying. But it really pisses me off when that happens.
Yeah.
When I'm mad, just let me be mad.
Yeah. No, we're good at that now. We're good at letting me be dramatic.
Will's learning that. There was a TikTok last night and I sent to him and it was just like a bunch of random different cats and it was like, which am I? And it's like going through and I thought I was going to be like the sunbathing one, like not in bed, but like in a comfy spot with like a book and coffee or something like that. That's who I thought he was going to pick. He picked E, and E is literally just like looks like a dramatic old, well, it's a kitten, but like, you know, like how Cinderella's stepmother like was in bed with Lucifer, like petting, like glaring. That's who I pictured when I first saw that. And when he came back, he's like, your letter E. And I was like, I had to go rewatch it. And I saw that it was just like a tiny kitten that looked grumpy, like covered up to the neck in bed. And I was like, excuse me.
It sounds like that's me, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Literally, if I can be sleeping, I probably am.
I will. Thing is, it wasn't sleeping.
Oh,
she was just glaring like.
Oh, well, that's probably not me then. If there was a sleeping one, that would probably.
There was. The next one was an orange cat on its back, like sprawled around, like in random spots, just passed out.
Yeah, that's me.
Let's say red hair, orange cat.
I go to sleep all the time.
Anyways, so yeah. So on page, I have some for page 367. Me too. This relationship is so close to like starting. I kind of wonder if the bond's starting to set in now.
And I said, damn it, Azriel.
I know, all the time. Here's the thing though. I know Reese felt the bond click, and I honestly don't remember, and maybe it does click for her at some point, and it's like written in there, but I don't remember at this point. It was in January that I last read this book. Or at least this section of the book. And I just kind of wonder if she's falling in love with him and it's not the bond yet. But I also wonder if the bond's starting to click in place. And I wonder if she's not going to get that like jolt, like, fuck this. That's my mate.
Right. I haven't read anything about her noticing because I figured it out, but I'm also really good at figuring things out. I don't think we're supposed to know yet.
You figured that out last book.
Yeah. I don't think we
were no, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about right now is they're having this really like tense flirtation, and it's almost an angry flirtation.
Oh yeah, it's like, why shouldn't I? You seem to have a difficulty not staring at me day and night. And then she was like, there it was, a kernel of truth in the question.
Am I supposed to deny that I find you attractive? Something sparked in those eyes.
You never said
it. I've told you many times and quite frequently how attractive I find you.
Well, maybe you should do a better job of it.
Is that a challenge, Feyre?
Is it?
I love it. And then, he's like, why don't we go down to that store right now, Feyre, so you can try on those little lacy things?
Oh, that's what started it. There is a lacy store that he always brings up with her as a joke. And then she's just like, maybe I'll wear one of these and flaunt it around Tarquin. Maybe then the feud would go away. And, maybe I'll send a few to Tarquin with an offer to wear them for him if he forgives us. Maybe he'll take those blood rubies right back. And then Reese goes, he'd see that as a taunt. She goes, I gave him a few smiles and he handed over a family heirloom. I bet he'd give me the keys to his territory if I showed up wearing those undergarments.
Yeah, and then they just have this whole back and forth. And then all of a sudden, Azriel shows up. God damn it.
Listen, SJN does a really great job of, like, building up that tension between them.
Ugh.
It's annoying, but it's good.
It is. I was promised spice. Damn it. Where's my spice?
Oh, listen. Chapter 62 through 64 is coming.
Well, also, whatever chapter that I just read about them being in the Court of Nightmares was quite, I was like, oh.
Oh, no, this one's more spicy.
Brittany was working that night. She worked really late that night. It was sad. Anyway, 368. I said,
this is my favorite.
Yes. I literally wrote, okay, so they're doing this whole flirting thing. And then where'd it go? Oh, he's got this whole like vision in her head, right?
Yeah, at the time you don't realize it. She's like playing out what would happen. It was like, she's like, I could almost see what would have happened. The shop ladies would have been polite, a bit nervous, and given us privacy as Reese sat on this, I can never say that, settee, whatever, in the back, the chair, in the back of the shop while I went behind the curtained off chamber to try on the red lace set I'd eyed thrice now. And when I emerged, mustering up some bravado, then I have felt, Reese would have looked me up and down twice, and he would have kept staring at me as he informed the shop ladies that the store was closed and that they should all come back tomorrow, and we'd leave the tab on the counter. I would have stood there naked, save for scraps of red lace, while we listened to the quick, discreet sounds of them closing up and leaving. And he would have looked at me the entire time, at my breast, visible through the lace, at the plane of my stomach, now finally looking less starved and taut, at the sweep of my hips and thighs between them. Then he would have met my gaze again and crooked a finger with a single murmur to come here. And then she would have walked to him with every step as I stopped in front of him where he sat in between his legs. His hands would have slid to my waist, the calluses scraping my skin. Then he would have tugged me a bit closer before leaning in to brush a kiss to my navel, his tongue. I swore as I slammed into the post of the stairwell. And he blinked, or she blinked as the world returned, and I realized I glared at the eye tattoo in my hand and hissed both with my tongue and at that silent voice within the bond itself, prick. In the back of my mind, a sensual male voice chuckled with midnight laughter.
Oh my God. I wrote, I was so into that fantasy that I literally laughed out loud when she walked into the pool.
I fucking lost it. I forgot that happened, so then when I reread it, I was like...
I was just like, I was like reading and I was like so into it and I was just like...
like nose deep into the book.
Yeah.
No one disturb me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was good. He's so clever. And it's like, listen, I see what you're trying to do, Feyre, but he's better. He will fuck you up.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this part too. The nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
So then...
we finally see a little bit of weakness.
Yeah, Reese has a nightmare. And there's like darkness.
It's kind of weird.
Like, there's darkness leaking, twisting into the open window, darkness leaking into my room from the hall door. I knew that darkness, a kernel of it lived in me. It rushed from the cracks of the door like a flood. The house shuddered again. So, like, the whole house is, like, shaking and shuddering, and there's darkness coming everywhere, and there's night and stars and wind. So Feyre goes to his room and is, like, trying to calm him down. And I wrote the imagery... wow, the imagery and the love that must have taken, because she like stops it, doesn't she?
She wakes him up.
Yeah.
She what is it? She's like screaming out his name, trying to get him, and then she gets close to him. Like she started hitting him and like pulling on the bond in between them. And then he finally, like, I think comes up and she's like trying to tell him it was a dream. And then he grabs her and is trying to figure out like who she is. I mean, he's like a target, so probably restful sleep is not a thing. So then he finally wakes up and he's like, I'm Feyre, like, you're okay. And then he realizes what happened.
Yes.
And then she sees him in his moment of weakness. And his tattoos, which I don't understand why he's on both knees. I get why both, but like the same one on each one. Whatever. That's not my business.
Yeah. And then I just like that they're healing together. Like, they're helping each other. They talk through things. Instead of bottling up their problems, they talk about it. Who would have guessed?
Not Tamlin.
Fuck Tamlin.
I just like the...
What was that thing that I read, or that I sent you that, like, made me scream with laughter? Like, Tammy the... Oh my gosh.
It's Tammy something. Wasn't it a TikTok? Was it a TikTok?
I think I screenshotted it and just texted it to you. But did you have anything else for that chapter?
Oh, I put that even he is a perfect example that strong people will have weak moments and that it's okay to be weak. during those days or that time or whatever. That's really about it. It's kind of a nice, like, little, what is it called?
Toxic Tammy.
Oh, yeah.
Toxic Tammy. Fucking love it.
That's hilarious. Toxic Tammy.
Okay. Then we're on chapter 39. Feyre is going to visit Amren at her apartment, I guess.
She brings her blood.
She's going to visit her because Amren hasn't left the room or the apartment forever because she's working on the book. And right on that first page of the chapter, I don't know why, but I found it fucking hilarious that Amren has a 4-poster bed. Like a canopy.
A dragon-esque person.
Only her bed, a large 4-poster monstrosity canopied in gossamer. Like, what?
She's a princess, let her be.
I just love it because I think of her as like this dark little, like, I don't know.
Dragon lady.
Yeah, like, but
I think of like a dark, small version of like Emilia Clarke, the mother of dragons.
Oh.
Daenerys.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen that. I've read the book though, so I know who that is.
There you go.
But yeah.
Just like that, the persona, not specifically Emilia Clarke, but
I don't know. I think Amren's a little darker than that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like a dark version.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, because she's got like white hair. I'm talking about like the dark version of. What the hell is on my pants?
Oh my gosh.
I cuddle with kids at school and now I got crap on my pants. What is this? Anyways.
Well, hopefully it's not literally crap, because if you're talking about the children in my classroom, it could possibly be.
No, I think it's like food part.
Oh, well, that's good.
That's possible too.
374.
I like how Amren's near Farrell when she smells the blood.
I mean, that's what I was gonna write.
She like stops and goes,
"Oh, I like you." That's what she says when Feyre unscrews the lid on the first jar. Amren sniffed, then whipped her head to the glass pipes. Oh, I like you.
That's my favorite when any character like look in the opposite way and then just stops and then just spins around. Like, I don't know why. That's my favorite.
I feel like it would be kind of terrifying if Amren did that to you. Like,
it could be terrifying. It could be funny. It
right?
Could be sad. Like it is a movement for anything, and I like it.
Also, I'm like, it's also kind of sad, like, because Amren never had like someone that takes care, like a girlfriend, like somebody that takes care of her. Like,
I mean, she's the only one, and she's been in prison for God knows how long.
Right? I'm just like I have friends who take care of me when I need it. Like, I'm just sad that she doesn't have that. But this is the first time someone's ever thought to bring her blood. I don't know. Makes me sad. 376 is the next thing I have. Let me see here.
I just put, I wonder why she said as horrible as it is. I don't know why. I have to figure that out. But oh, I was looking on the wrong page. That would be oh. She's like, do you have a favorite blood? And she goes, she jerked her bloody chin, then wiped it with a napkin, and she realized she made a mess. Lamb has always been my favorite, horrible as it is. I wonder why. Like, if it's your favorite, why is it horrible? Like, horrible to
probably
drink
because
blood?
they're babies. Like, lambs are like
That's a veal. Right?
That's a baby cow.
Veal. Then what's a baby? What?
A lamb is a baby sheep. So they're babies.
I also enjoy that Pharaoh's like, not human. She's like, ew, watery and often tastes like what they last ate. Humans have piss poor palates.
Humans are gross. Let's just be clear.
We're destroying the earth. Here we are. Hello. Cheers.
Yeah. And then on the next page, oh my gosh, this whole scene, I just love it. I'm about to just read the whole scene because I just love it.
Cat and dog play together.
A gleam of color caught my attention on the floor near her. She was using her blood ruby as a paperweight. Reese convinced you not to destroy Adriata for the blood ruby. Amren's eyes flicked up, full of storms and violent seas. He did no such thing. That convinced me not to destroy Adriata. She pointed to her dresser. Sprawled across the top like a snake lay a familiar necklace of diamonds and rubies. I'd seen it before in Tarquin's trove. How? What? Amren smiled to herself. Varian sent it to me to soften Tarquin's declaration of our blood feud.
Oh, it is a blood feud.
It is a blood feud. I thought the rubies would need to be worn by a mighty female, and could think of no mightier female than the one before me.
She's a fucking boss-ass bitch.
Did you and Varian? Tempting, but no. The prick can't decide if he hates me or wants me. Why can't it be both? A low chuckle. Indeed.
I literally was like, Varian indeed wants her and hates her.
Yes, I love that.
Enemies to lovers. This whole book is full of them.
Really, for real. And I
except for Tamlin. He does not get a happy ending.
Toxic I'm aware Tammy.
Tamlin the tampon.
Toxic Tammy is just one of the most demasculating things I can think of, and I love it.
Here's the thing, do you imagine Tamlin as kind of beefy?
I imagine Tamlin as Link from Zelda.
Don't you dare do that to my Link.
Right. But that's just the look that I get, that I imagine for him.
No. Pick something else. Don't do that to my Link. Oh, no. No, I'm starting to see it. No. He is my favorite. You ruined it. No.
You're welcome.
I'm about to have an existential crisis.
You're welcome.
How fucking dare you?
Damn it. And then we start talking about Mor, right? And Azriel and Mor and Cassian. And part of me, I don't know if Thera said it or if I just came up with it, but I said part of me wonders if Cassian and Varian should compare notes. Because,
I think she said it.
Okay.
I think she's talking about it because, what is it?
Oh, because Cassian and Nesta are...
Yeah, fighting or whatever.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
He said, I assumed seeing Nesta went about as poorly as could be imagined because my lesson the following morning was longer and harder than it had been in previous days. I'd asked what exactly Nesta had said to him to get under his skin so easily, but Cassian had only snarled and told me to mind my own business, and that my family was full of bossy, know-it-all females. Part of me wondered if Cassian and Varian might need to compare notes.
Yeah, so then I wrote, part of me also wonders if Cassian and Varian should compare notes.
Oh, Nesta.
I'm so excited to read her book.
Yes, it's going to be so good.
I'm so excited.
I'm not going to lie. I've been really, when I first read these books, I read all of them in January. If I had a books that I read for the month kind of thing to post on Facebook on our bitchy bookworm, thing, it would only be this. And now that I'm rereading it, I'm like, man, I'm ready to be done. I've read it so much. I've talked about it so much. I'm ready to be done with it. I'm ready to move on to get past that. And I think it's partially because I'm not done with the series yet. I'm rereading it and I still don't know what happens in this last book. And it's pissing me off internally.
I know. I think Brittany makes fun of me because I literally have 4 books going right now. I'm reading this one. I'm reading, I'm rereading the Bridgerton series on my phone, when I'm waiting for appointments and stuff. And then I'm reading the Magicians series. And then I'm also listening to The Rose Code, which is fucking amazing. I'm listening to it while I drive. And the lady has a really sexy voice, and I like it. Okay, moving on.
There's a TikTok person I think you should watch. She gets really nervous around women, and it's so funny. And she always does these POVs. Women make you nervous. And she's trying her hardest to, flirt, and she's just I don't know what to do. It's funny. Anyways, I really like their note aspect things that they're doing. Oh, So page 337, page 379. Reese sends her a note.
He does. I love the notes.
I don't know why. I enjoyed writing notes in like high school to friends, to the boyfriend. Like,
I still write notes. Like, I have pen pals that I literally write letters to. Hey, Lindsay.
I would love to do that, but I don't think my penmanship is very good, and it pisses me off. So, like one time, like my part of my notes will be like really, really pretty, and the next looks like chicken scratch, and then the next just looks like I was like hurrying. But I really like this note aspect. Like, it's like texting, but
magical.
It's
cute.
I just want magic. Anyways, yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's kind of nostalgic.
I like the last line on page 379. She writes back, "At least you make up for your shameless flirting by being one hell of a high lord." And I wrote,
shameless flirting, my ass. You are shamelessly flirting.
I wrote, that's probably the highest praise that she could give him. Like,
he was smirking like a cat when he saw her too.
Right?
One hell of a high lord. Oh yeah, and at this point we're back in the human realm.
Yes.
Because we're asking so we got one half of the book from Tarquin, and now we have to ask the mortal queen. Why do I say we?
I don't know. Because that's what we do with the students at school, probably.
Yeah. So they have to ask the mortal queens for the book because it is protected by magic that if it is stolen
or coerced.
Yeah, or like they use deception of any kind of sort, they don't know the length of that magic, but they have to basically be given the book willingly. And so they finally got off their pompous shit. I don't like them.
The mortal queens?
Yeah, no, they're fucking cunts. Yeah. And they finally showed up.
Yeah.
They didn't just show up. They winnowed. They winnowed in.
I said, wait, what the fuck? How do they winnow? But then also, like, I love that they're like, no weapons. But, like, the fucking fairies aren't weapons in their own fucking...
Honestly, though.
Like, what? No weapons. Okay, but I can melt your mind with mine, so no problem.
Fuck you. All right, whatever. Anyways, yeah, I just think it's like, everyone's like, they're mortal? What witchcraft is this? And then we find out, like, literally the next page.
Yeah. So
there's so many queens.
Oh, we should probably take a break.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So, fun fact. So today at school, I walked into the room and one of the paraprofessionals in Brandy's room was talking about wasps at her house, and every time I went to go say wasp, it wasn't coming out wasp, it was coming out wop.
She sounded like a fucking duck quacking down the hallway.
And so I was making fun of it, and I was like, wow. And so fun story, when I first met Will, so his last name, sorry, identity going out the window, but he has no social media, he's fine. His last name is spelled Walen. When you first look at it, you think it's Waylon. I don't know why. I think it's just like that's commonly how you would say something like that.
Yeah.
So I never bothered asking. I should have, but I never did. And we went on this special date to a museum, and I ended up having COVID at this time. So I think I was like kind of delirious because I started making jokes and like laughing hysterically at it. But I think I was like, I had a fever. So I think I was just out of it. I just got done eating sushi. I was like, I was throwing up like for an hour, like 2 hours before that. Like I was sick with COVID. It was horrible. I was like the entire time. So I just wasn't in the right mindset because I was delirious. But I sat there and I looked at him deadpan and was like, wow. And he was like, how did you know? And I was like, oh, I was joking. And I thought it was funny, but no, it was real. Like his last name's Wallen.
Oh.
And I was like, Wallen. And I'm in the middle of the sushi restaurant saying it. Like, like a fucking idiot. And he looks at me, he goes, "Are you ready to go?" And I'm like, "Wow." And
oh my god.
I was thinking, like, "Wow, Luigi." Or wow, Mario.
I can't stand you.
He just looked at me and goes, "I'm gonna leave you." In the middle of the sushi restaurant, and I'm just fucking losing my mind, hysterical.
Oh my god.
And I was like, "All right, let's go." So I like get up and I'm like trudging outside. I'm like, "Oh, I'm so tired." And he goes, "Oh, you lost all your motivation?" Yeah, I did. And then my COVID results were positive. So
yikes.
I was dying and I just didn't know it.
Damn COVID.
You know when you get loopy before you're like, oh my god, dead? That was me.
You know, I've never been dead before, so I can't say that I would know.
Well, I mean like dead with sickness, not legitimately deceased. DED dead. That's what I mean. Anyway, that was a fun story.
All right. Break time over. Good feeling gone. Chapter 40 starts on page 382. You all right over there?
No, I'm not.
And I literally, the first thing I wrote was page 384. I was so wrapped up in learning more about the queens, I forgot to take notes. They know about more. Did they know the true history?
There's just so many queens. Like, their colors, the looks. Like, there's an old decrepit one. Like, what color is she? There's a pretty golden one. Like, yeah. I thought the pretty golden one was, like, a good person. But then they said that there's this, was there seven queens?
I think so.
And, like, the last queen was sick and couldn't come. And, like, whatever the case is. I don't know. But there's so many. I'm really confused. I really need to reread that.
Yeah, the whole thing is really confusing.
I need a visual. That's my thing.
Like, they know who Moore is. Like, they've heard of her and they know her story.
Well, they have the book and they know well about the book, so
that's true. But I'm just like, wow. And then
it appears the queens are the only humans in this entire realm that know anything and everything about the fairies. And not just some stupid folklore that they make up. I don't know.
And then I wrote something about Nesta, and now I'm trying to figure out what I was talking about.
Oh, Nesta made a comment to the queens.
Oh, she's like, they're talking about,
there's children here.
Yeah, because the queens are like, we're working to defend our lands, we're working to defend the lands, blah, 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 blah. They don't care about the outer lands. They don't care about
at them.
So they're like, Feyre's like, there are good people here because they're just going to let the fairies kill everyone in the land, like the town and stuff where Feyre's from. And then the Golden Queen sweetly parried with, then let the High Fae of Prithian defend them. Silence. And it was Nesta who hissed from behind us. We have servants here with families. There are children in these lands. And you mean to leave us all in the hands of the Fae? So, like, I was just like, yeah. Get him, Nesta. Fucking old biddies. And then she said, it's the choice of cowards.
That's what I'm saying. It really fucking is.
Yeah.
And then my comment on this was, I was like, some queens. I hate them so much.
And then they keep calling Feyre child. Our half of the book child does not leave our sacred palace. And like this is like
all right, then write it down. Give me a copy.
I wrote, bitch, call me a child again. Because she says it multiple.
Is there a pig in here? Because they. I need to wash my nose. Jesus.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
It kind of hurt. Sometimes I snort when I laugh, but like not right off the bat. And that really kind of hurt. God.
Oh my god.
Anyways, and they're bitches is all I know.
Yeah.
And I love that Reese was like, do not condescend her. And it's like, you know what? Like Feyre is young. She's 19, 20, I think at this point, or almost, or something, I don't know. But like, I get it. Like, they...
Sorry.
You okay?
Yeah. I just read what I wrote about this.
Oh. But it's just like, it's kind of funny because it's like, no one's coaxed her into saying any of this, but she fully and completely understands given her age. But it's like Reese is the one who's just like, I've lived for over 500 fucking years. Your bitch ass is 60 years old. What wisdom do you fucking have?
Right.
Nothing.
I literally wrote, fuck yeah, Reese, snaps for Reese. And then the bitch goes, we will weather this. The book will remain with us. We will weather this storm. No, you won't, idiot. Like,
fuck you.
What?
Yeah.
And then they're trying to figure out how they can trust them.
Yeah, and then she's just like, well, fine, give us proof that you are a man of peace. A male of peace, sorry. They're not men and women, they're males and females.
Yeah, and so their way of like trying to show that is to show them Valaris.
Yeah, like, which they don't know yet, and that's what she's thinking.
Yeah.
No one else has said anything. She's just like, oh my god, that's the only thing. And she's afraid, actually, that they were going to admit, yeah, you're right.
Right? And I'm like, oh no.
Here's the thing. On the next page, after she realizes it, she goes, my very bones cried out at the thought of revealing that gem to these spiders. And I'm like, spiders, Farah? Oh, really?
My favorite...
But not the large.
My favorite thing is the last sentence of the chapter.
Elaine got some Nesta in here.
And it was Elaine who sighed and murmured, I hope they all burn in hell.
Me too, Elaine. Fuck them bitches.
Like, yes. Oh my gosh. That was a really short chapter.
Those fucking hoes. I hate them so much. How many are there? 7? Is that,
we never did confirm, I guess. Fucking bitch.
A crow's laugh. Listen, if you have a crow laugh,
fuck off.
Because all I'm going to think of is this blue ass bitch. I don't know.
No, all it makes me think of is Schitt's Creek when Moira's all dressed up. Moira's all dressed up and like she's doing the Crows movie. And she's like, Have you not seen Schitt's Creek?
I've seen a few episodes.
Oh my god, your life is not complete. I'm literally wearing a Schitt's Creek shirt right now. It's life-changing.
I did know that.
It's life-changing. And Moira dresses up like a half-crow crazy scientist lady. And she's like, ah! And it's amazing. And you're missing out. So get your life together.
I'm sorry. Well, here's the thing. Listen. Every time I sit down to watch a TV show, it gets changed on me.
What?
So, like...
It's on Netflix.
No, I know. Oh, I know.
What do you mean it gets changed?
Like, okay, so I'll sit down and, like, Will wants to watch, like, a TV show. We'll sit there and watch a TV show. Like, maybe a season in, he's like, oh, we gotta watch this one so you can understand what's gonna happen in the next season.
Schitt's Creek does not do that. There
I know.
Is only Schitt's Creek.
But, like, there's, like, 5 TV shows I'm trying to fucking watch right now. And Will's like, you wanna watch some TV with me? And 9:30 at night. And I'm like, no, I wanna fucking go to sleep. Because the moment I get addicted to watching The Flash... You're going to have to stop and be like, oh, no, we got to watch a season 4 of The Arrow. Oh, no, we got to watch Supergirl. And I'm like, fuck Supergirl. I hate Superman, Supergirl, all that shit. I'm not a DC fan.
I hate crossovers.
God. Well, it's just... Anyways, what I was saying was...
we were trying to figure out how many queens there were. And I don't think it actually... Like, I think we have to actually, like, count. Like, there were 2 that appeared middle-aged. 1 dark and 1 light. They even wore gowns of black and white. 2 young, the youngest 2 queens. The oldest, the crone, and then the final queen, which is the golden one. So there's...
Yeah, and the youngest 2 queens. One was perhaps a few years older than her. Damn, that's a young queen.
Yeah.
Unless when she says few years, like she's like 30.
Okay.
So maybe like 10. I don't know.
So there's 6 here, so there's 7 total, yeah.
Okay, so the 7th one is sick. Anyways. Ouch.
Okay, chapter 41.
Ooh, okay, so they are kind of annoyed right now. And they are going back to Valaris. And Reese is gonna go pout. someplace else. But then Amren's like, well, I take it.
Cassian gave her a look and trailed after his friend. Oh my gosh.
So then they all go back there and they're sitting there and they find out what happened. And Cassian's like, we could depose them. Get newer ones. Which makes me, there's a TikTok sound. I was on TikTok for a lot last night. There's a TikTok sound where this girl is like showing off her new outfit and like her boss walks in and goes, I choose violence. You look fucking awesome. A TikTok I found was actually about Akatar, and it was Moore showing off her like new outfit, and then Cassian's the one that walks in and screams, I choose violence, and then he turns and looks, you look fucking awesome, and then he turns and keeps walking. I'm like, man, that just screams Cassian energy. He just chooses violence every day of his life.
Yeah, you sent me that. Also, I was cracking up last night because you were texting me half of them, and half of them you were sending me through the TikTok app, and I was cracking up.
Listen, I was struggling. I was like, every single time I was like, I want her to look at this one right now. I'm gonna text it to her. And then I was like, this one doesn't need to be looked at right now. So I could, because I have over 500 messages, DMs on TikTok from 4 people sending me TikToks consistently, and I just, if I get on there, I stay on there for like an hour, and it's a dangerous game that I try not to play.
I have the notifications turned off for TikTok because same, like,
yeah,
it's a rabbit hole.
You got a DM. Fuck.
No,
it's like it's like 15 an hour I get, and it's annoying. Anyways, so yeah, so he's trying to choose violence, and then everyone's like, no, it's going to take too much time. We need to like try again. And then Moore's like, let me just go in there. Let me just do this. And then Azriel gets pissed off and was basically arguing with Moore and was like, no, you're not doing it. Their like world is the death trap. And I wish he would like elaborate on that a little bit more, because it's like they're a death trap to fairies, but like what can kill fairy other than ash?
Well, it says like that palace is a death trap for our kind, built by fae hands to protect the humans from us. Like
what?
But it could be magic too. Like
true, like just walk in and like
right.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
How dare they? Well, I guess if you're trying to protect the book, there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's pissed off. And honestly, I think Moore could have handled it. If she was told correctly what to expect.
Yeah.
Then yeah. Well, here's something else too. Azrael has never been able to like get inside. So how does he know?
Right. That's probably how he knows though, because he can't get inside. Like
maybe.
And he can get in anywhere. I don't know. Maybe
I think if she would know and have like the right information, she'd be able to do it.
I agree. Moore's badass.
She's the Moore. She has truth magic. She is able to tell the truth, or whatever. I don't know what that means.
So then we start hearing about some of their history, like the fairy history, right? We learn about Miriam and Dracon. Draken.
Listen, I can't say Draken without thinking Kim Possible. Dr. Draken.
Okay, anyway.
Every time your phone goes off, I think that's what it is.
Oh my gosh, all the peer tutors are always like, it's Kim Possible. And I'm like, it's Power Rangers, you little baby.
Go Power Rangers. That's where they got it from. The OG noise.
Yeah, it makes me mad every time. I'm like, shut up, you little Gen Zers. I love you all if you're listening to this podcast. I love all of you. But you
shouldn't be unless you're 18, but welcome.
I mean, some of them are.
Some, no.
No, I mean, some of them are listening even though they're not 18. We see you, rule breakers.
Go away. Listen, if you're listening, peer tutors, why aren't you actually answering our questions? Don't even. We do little booths. We're in the middle of something. No.
Anyway.
This is why we don't do this at my house. I have dogs.
We're talking about Miriam and Draken. I keep wanting to say Dracon. And learning about their story. And Amren's like,
Oh.
tell the full story another time. The gist of it, girl, is that Morrigan was given as a wedding gift by the queen to her betrothed, a foreign fae prince named Draken.
Oh yeah, she's half fae, half human. Listen, I want that story.
Right?
I want to hear about it.
Right?
That's what I wrote. I want a story about them.
I want like a prequel of them. I like it. I'm here for it.
If Azzy can't find them, right? Or have they not tried?
No, they know where they are. Because they were like,
they're just hidden.
Well, yeah, we'll tell them.
Oh, they haven't talked in like 500 years, right?
Right. But, and I wrote that. I was like, giving up Miriam and Draken would just prove that Reese can't be trusted. That's a dumb idea.
And that's exactly what they say.
Yeah. And it's like, no, that's a terrible idea. That's not good at all.
Yeah, so their next best option
is Valaris.
Yeah, so, and the thing is that they can't show it to them, like, mind to mind, because they might think it's like some type of whatever problem. What is it? Like deceit of some sort, like mind tricks.
Yeah.
So their next stop is
the Court
of Nightmares in the Hewn City,
because there's this orb called the Veritas, and it basically got the truth magic, so they can show the mortal queens that and show them Valaris, and then
I know a lot of people have like specialized magic in here, but I didn't realize truth magic was a thing. And I want to know more about it.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really know a lot about like the other powers that anybody like any of the courts have, but I also I'm interested. I want to know.
So the idea of truth, have you ever seen Umbrella Academy?
No.
Oh my gosh. So it's like these like
I'm not a TV show person.
I'm not usually, but this one's really good. It would be an even better book. But there's like 6 siblings or something, and they're not actually siblings. They were just all born at the same time to people that weren't pregnant. And this guy like finds them all and brings them together and makes them
the Umbrella.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they all have like powers, and one of them, she'll be like, I heard a rumor, and then whatever she says like comes true. So like
she's psychic.
Well, or it makes people do it. So she'll be like, I heard a rumor that you had to pee, and now you would have to pee. Like, she just makes things happen.
How does she know? I'm just
kidding. Like, it's just crazy. And I mean, there's more things. Like, she would, in the course of the story, she ends up using it against her daughter. Like, she'll be like, I heard a rumor that you were going to sleep. Like, so she'll use it to like make her daughter behave, and it ends up causing a big problem in her relationship. And like, she loses custody of her daughter. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but that's what it makes me think of when they talk about truth magic. It makes me think of that character.
I thought my whole thought on it, and I could be incorrect or whatever. Someone correct me, but I thought it was honestly like she cannot tell a lie, and like what she says, people believe her. Not necessarily like that whole Umbrella Academy thing, but like if I sat here and I was just like, the world is going to shit, and you didn't know anything about it, but like not how I told you, but like you just believed me because like,
right, yeah, it's almost like charisma too, like
like well, and I think that's why she's like an emissary for other courts, or used to be one of the two.
I like it,
but that's all I can think of.
Yeah, but it also makes me wonder, like, could she use it offensively? Like, could she pull the truth out of people?
Ooh, yeah. Which makes me wonder too. So I believe, I don't know how true this is, or if it's just coincidence. But I mean, a lot of SJM's characters come from like Celtic folklore and like the Irish folklore, all that kind of stuff. And Morrigan's one of them. She's like a great huntress, great warrior. And like, I believe pagan.
Yeah, so there's the Morrigan is in
it's either
Boss Girl, and she is like the leader of, what is she the leader of? Brittany, remind me when you listen to this. But the Morrigan is the leader of like one of the like factions or something
in Lost Girls.
Lost Girl.
She's a Celtic goddess. She's from Irish mythology.
I think she's the leader of the Dark Fae in Lost Girl. Like, she's like the... Because there's Dark Fae.
Local Dark Fae territory.
Yeah.
So the legitimate whatever is actually translated to Great Queen or Phantom Queen. It's associated with war and fate, especially with foretelling doom, death, or victory in battle. In this role, she often appears as a crow. Ooh, that's weird. We left school the other day and we saw that big ass crow.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I think seeing a crow is like good luck. A lot of people think it's bad luck, but I think it's good luck. Like the number 13, I think it's good luck.
I agree.
Friday the 13th, yo. When we're filming.
Oh this. Yeah, we're recording on Friday the 13th.
So she encourages warriors to do brave deeds, strikes fear into their enemies, and is portrayed washing the bloodstained clothes of those fated to death. Ooh. She's seen as the goddess of battle and war. She is also seen as a manifestation of the earth and I can never say that. Sovereignty. Sovereignty. I don't know. Anyways, got it. She's essentially a guardian of the territory and its people. She's often described as a trio. There's 3 of them.
I like it.
Yeah. So, anyways, Irish mythology. She's a great warrior, essentially. But it doesn't say anything about truth, although it does say like foretelling. So, like, I guess that could be that's kind of psychic ability.
Yeah,
in a way,
kind of. I like
it. I want to know more about this.
Also, I'm realizing that it's a missed opportunity that we didn't do our break about Friday the 13th legend. Like today that we're recording is Friday the 13th. But anyway,
we always get our good ideas after we're done.
I know. Damn it.
Oh well. Next time.
Also, so now Feyre's like talking about going to the artist quarter, and she's like,
she's like learning to heal.
Yeah, and she's talking about going to like see all the different art and like buy supplies and do all this shit. And then she doesn't, and I'm like, God damn it, Feyre.
Hey man, that first step's the hardest.
But like, also good luck, good for her. Like, she's thinking about it and she's doing things and she's considering the idea, which is the first step is the hardest. Like,
yeah, because I mean, you could sit there and be in despair all you want, but like when you start thinking about it being like an active, like first step in something, I technically I think that's the first step, like thinking about it, and then the second step's actually just doing it.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, that's kind of what it was for me. It was like, man, I want to be an actress, and I did that for years, and then I finally, January, these books killed me. And then I was like, fuck it, I want to do what I want to do. So that was my first step right there. And then I finally did it.
I like it. Yes.
There you
go. You've come so far in just like the past 4 or 5 months, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you. It's been only 5 months of this year, so
yeah.
Thank God. This has been the most productive year of my life. I was about to say, and I'm 22, but I am not. I am not 22. It's okay. I was going to say it's 2022, but whatever. Anyways, we also learned a little bit about Mor and her family and the Autumn Court. And the Autumn Court is a fucking asshole. And I knew this all along, and that's why I specifically wanted to know what your favorite court was. Which court you would pick, because I was like, I'm going to ruin her later on in this book.
Yeah. So on page 397, we're hearing all of these stories, and I'm just going to read what I wrote first, and then we can go back and discuss all the things that happened. I wrote, what the actual fuck? With a question mark and an exclamation point. A lot to unpack. Mor fucked Cassian, then her family beat the fuck out of her and nailed, in all caps, a fucking note to her.
Yeah.
Like, what? So she goes, they're trying to, like, pass her off to the highest bidder, basically.
Hewn City does their, like, virginity as, like, the highest bidder. So if you come from a family of power, you're a female and you're a virgin,
you're worth a lot of money, basically.
You a rich A+ celeb.
Yeah, just like, what the fuck? And so, because Moore's trying to escape this, because they're trying to basically sell her to this, like, asshat who's going to treat her like shit, she goes and meets Cassian, and she's with Reese, and she meets Cassian and Azrael. And Reese and Azrael go somewhere else, and Moore's there with Cassian by herself, and they have sex, because she's like, then I won't be worth shit, right? Like,
woo!
Unfortunately, that's not, I mean, it gets worse. Like, her family, she goes back and her family realizes what happened. They literally beat the fuck out of her. And then they nail a note to her to try to prove a point. And like just, ew. Like, I was reading it and my stomach literally hurt.
And then they dropped her off at the Autumn Court, and then the Autumn family, the one she was supposed to marry into, just left her for dead.
Yeah. Like,
in the middle of their woods. And so, of course, like, she's already beaten. She's already broken, essentially. She is left for dead in the middle of an unknown area, unknown woods, way far. So if you look at the map, she's at the tip top of it. The Autumn Court is literally right next to, right above it. Yeah, thanks. I need to look at the map myself. So Spring Court's at the very, very bottom of the Prithian. And then you have the Summer Court right above it, and then you have the Autumn Court right next to it. So you also have to go through winter, the dawn, and day just to get to night. And she winnows, but, like, she's fucking dead and broken. Like, she's got to go someplace to heal before she can probably winnow.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works, but, like, that's horrible. Fucking bastards.
Yeah. Well, they fucking nailed a note to her. I can't get that. And I know it's like the whole Jesus thing, so the Christians are probably like, oh, Jesus will nail the ground. But they fucking nailed a note to her body.
Right. And for all the Christians out there, that was a form of punishment in ancient Rome. Crucifixion. That was the whole point of it. Nesta just asked to not be married to a horrible person.
Morrigan.
Oh.
Not Nesta.
Well, they give me the same vibe.
Yeah. They're both badass bitches.
And plus I just read Nesta down here. Thank you. But Moore just wanted to have her own life and wanted to choose what she wanted to do with life.
They dumped her on the Autumn Court border with a note nailed to her body that said she was Eris's problem. Eris left her for dead in the middle of the woods, and Azrael found her a day later. It was all I could do to keep him from going to either court and slaughtering them all.
I wonder if this is before or after Lucian went to the Spring Court.
Ooh, I don't know.
Because would Lucian be a part of that slaughter? Or would he have helped?
I don't know.
Would they be like, hey, Lucian, I'm about to go kill your entire family. Anybody you want to save? Anybody you want to help with?
Right? Do you care? No.
If not, all right, here we go. But yeah,
right.
Autumn Court is a fucking dick.
So that is the end of that chapter. And that is probably a good place to stop.
Yeah, because chapter 42...
There's a lot happening.
I had to read it several times, so I didn't get very far in our chapters today. Not today, but for today. But yeah, anyways.
All right.
We'll talk about Friday the 13th stuff next time. We always forget to do...
We should, like, plan out our next few, like...
breaks
so we know, like, so we can look at, because this month is also Mental Health Awareness Month, so that'd be something good to.
We literally sit here and like, what do we want to do for a break for like 15 minutes before we actually hit record?
We should just come up with like, look at like the holidays and stuff for the next, because I think it's also Asian and Pacific Islander Month, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
And it's Mental Health Awareness Month.
It's Friday the 13th. It's almost summertime.
Yeah.
Anyways. Ladies and gents, thank you for listening today. And stay safe, stay healthy. COVID's getting rampant again.
Oh my gosh.
US, I think, just hit 1 million people. So stay safe, mask up, get your vaccines.
All right.
And if you don't want to get your vaccines, still mask up and try to stay away from people. Better have a good reason to not get your vaccine, though. That's what I'm saying.
All right, witches. See you next one.
Bye.
Bye.
About to lose all kinds of followers. He said that.